Afternoon, folks. Hope everyone's doing well today. What am I doing? I need to post that we're going live, and then we will build a deck. Hey, Druda. Alrighty. How are you doing this afternoon, Druda? Load up the old Magic Online. We're playing more standard today. Probably standard the rest of the week. Except for Hex Thursdays. Open this weekend as standard. Need to gain experience with the format. I've been ignoring it to play modern. So need to spend some time on the format for sure. Afternoon spiked, stank. Alright. Bamonte sent me a deck list. Where is it? Oh, this turd. He sent me a picture of a deck. That is not nearly as good as a deck box. A deck list. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Immortals. Good. Gotta find a deck for Atlanta. Exactly. Alright, so what are we doing here? We're building something new. So something Matt thinks is good, so we're gonna play it and probably show him it's not. I hope he's listening. There's no apostrophe in Seasons. What have I done? I've made a horrible mistake. I need to update my Twitch stream. So I got Colitas. I got 2 of these. Got Petition. 4 Dark Petition because we're going deep. Maddie thinks it's good. It's probably awful, right? Yeah, they're repairing my plumbing outside. Unfortunately, my window is right near where that is happening. Good old Magic Online, the old search and hard lock. Dauntless Escort has never impressed me in Kiki Cord. You can rarely, the situations where you want to cord for Dauntless Escort, you usually can't. They'll just dispel you or mana leak you, and then it's not terribly good. Dauntless Escort, you can't cord for it to stop the turn 4 Wrath, which is when you really need to stop it usually. And if it is later than a turn 4 Wrath, you might as well just cord for a... Oh, I'm blanking. You might as well just cord for a Avacyn or a Revelark. Yep, you're building standard. big. I think I want a second one of those on the board. Unmaking. They don't start for a week. About just white add to the deck. Sorin. Sorin's a huge draw. There's two Sorins in here. Abzan was consistently worse than just having Revelark in my testing, and I'm not even playing Revelark anymore, so... God, this application is poop. Just like mono hard locks while searching. For languish, of course, because why not? Apologies for the background noise. Unfortunately, the window is closed right now, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Are there really 28 lands in this deck, Pamonte, or am I missing something? 3 price, 2 transgress, 2 read, 2 truths. Gus1313 with the brand new sub. Welcome to the stream, mate. I appreciate that extra next level of support. Welcome. We'll be playing momentarily. Sorry, normally I get my deck list and text, but I'm early. Normally we don't start till 1 o'clock, so I figured we could hang out and chat while I piece this deck together. 5, 13. Oh, there's 3 duress in the main deck. That's aggressive. I'm just gonna play card for card what Pamonte sent me. That seems more realistic. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Man. Camera's just on my other monitor. 25 land seems really greedy. 25 land seems really greedy. I'm gonna make that change. I'm gonna cut a duress and play an extra land. When in doubt, play more lands. That's a good life motto. If you're ever unsure if you should be playing an additional land, play the additional land. The old 7 basic swamps. Oh, it does that too. We get to play Shambling. Someone asked what the White Splash does. Shambling Vent's a big upgrade over Hissing. Oh, he's playing both. Oh, that's hot. Not gonna lie, kinda like that. Just like 8 creature lands. That sounds wonderful. Two Canopy Vista while I'm here. 1 Caves. 1 Llanowar Waste. Oh, he just sent me a 61 card deck. Okay, God bless him. He's on 26. He sent me 26 lands, and he's just playing a 61 card deck. Alright, I can get behind that. That's fine. There were not any Sylvan Advocates in the list Pamonte sent me. This deck is basically mono black control. That's what this deck is. This deck is mono black control with Dark Petition, Seasons Past as unbeatable late game. Alright, he sent me a sideboard. The sideboard's probably a hot mess. Okay, he had 2 dead weights. Second season's pass seems reasonable. I'd just say, what do we do when our season's pass gets countered or killed? There's a second one on the board. That makes sense. Clip wings. I wouldn't hate multiple clip wings if we can fit them in here. Another infinite obliteration? Alright, we're going to change Maddie's board a little bit. Guy's Revenge sounds wonderful, though. That sounds great. Linvala sounds great. Flaying Tendril seems okay. For when you need more sweepers. Hollowed Moonlight sounds fine. Get 2 of these in here. Some more Transgress on the board. Needs more squishy. We don't have the colorless lands to play squishies in this deck. There's only 2 colorless lands. The Dromoka is very good. What is Dromoka? Is Dromoka better than Gaia's Revenge? I feel like Gaia's Revenge is better than Dromoka on average. Does anyone disagree with that? Can you give me a reason why? He had Mind Rots in his sideboard. What do I want Mind Rot against? That seems bad. I guess I wouldn't hate just like 3 different fatties at the top end. So I put a Dragon Lord Jamoka, Linval, and a Gaia's Revenge. Played both? Yeah, it seems fine. Jamoka's better on defense? Okay. Yeah, we'll play one of each. Seems fine to me. I don't know if I like a 3rd Hollow Moonlight. In my experience, this card's kind of awkward to hold up a lot of the time. I wouldn't hate a Grasp of Darkness. Yeah, I'm going to play another Grasp of Darkness on the board here. Okay, so what cards do I need to get? I need... Those cards don't even do the same thing. That's not how you build decks. You don't say, cut this. I guess they both come in against control. Dramoka's better against, like... This card could be, like, just a stone cold nuts against aggro, though. For ramp and rights matchup, but like this one infinite obliteration we can just cast over and over and over again. I think I'd much rather have more Transgress the Mind for ramp, because like infinite obliteration is much better after you've transgressed them or duress them, so you can take something out of their hand. We've been playing Standard all week. You can find we played Standard last week too, actually. We've been playing a lot of Standard. Next two opens are Standard. I need Painful Truths, I need Seasons Past. 2 of these. I'm just gonna get 3 of them for now in case we want to play another one. Gaia's Revenge. .3 tickets. Dark Petition. That's because it's more than just this week. We played Standard last week too. We'll be playing Magic in just a few minutes. I have to just collect the cards for this. Again, fired up a little bit early so I could get this taken care of. Figured we could chat while I do so. Stop making suggestions for decks you've never played before. Like I get it. I get it. Everyone wants to make all these improvements. You don't make a bunch of improvements by like cutting a bunch of things and changing a bunch of stuff without playing games with a deck. Yeah, this deck's super dirtily. The black-white deck isn't very dirtily at all. It's got like Gideons and Secure the Wastes and stuff in it. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 things in my cart, so that's probably right. Oh, wait, I have one extra Seasons Pass on it, so what am I missing? Plague, Flying Tendrils, Gaia's Revenge, Dragon Larger Mocha, Virulent Plague, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Painful. God, this is so much more difficult than Matt would just sent me a list. Seasons Past. Dark Petition. Dragon Larger Mocha. Virulent Plague. Alright. Place order. I'm decking these colors without rhinos, right? Alright, well, the cards here in just a minute from the bot, and then we will battle some amount. Maddie promised me the deck's good, so maybe we'll play it competitively right off the bat. Sorin fills a similar role to Ob Nixilis, and like this deck already draws so many cards that I feel like we just don't need Ob Nixilis to draw cards and be an awkward removal spell. Like Sorin, when he draws cards, he actually kills them, which is why he's great. We're playing both magic cards. We have Grasp and Price. And you play both. They're better in different matchups. I feel like you just like super contradicted yourself. It's a fine deck. 2 of my friends played it. Neither of them day 2'd. You only have to 6-3 to day 2. Like, even people that day 2'd probably didn't all have reasonable decks. He didn't test a match because Infinite Obliteration is in the main still. You think this should be in the board? Is this too loose? Should I put something else in? I could just, like, do this. I could do this. Infinite Obliteration, IO, I assume. I think this is fine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just put this on the board where it belongs probably and put another Grasp of Darkness in the main. Alright, let's get this. Added to my decks list. That's fine. If we scrub this league, I'll just make Maddie buy me lunch as a payment back. Yeah, Infinite Obliteration, the main is loose. There's too much black-white control. Alright, let's go ahead and add this to my metery page. I get it, Moose Droppings. You think you've tested everything. I understand. I want to play games of Magic myself with decks. I mean, my actual opinion on the matter is I don't think any of these seasons past decks are very good. I think most of them are just worse than, like, playing black-white, but we're going to get a feel for it. Like, this version at least plays the card that makes black-white nuts. One of the cards that makes black-white nuts. I don't think any of these decks seem particularly great. They don't, like, their unbeatable endgame isn't all that impressive. Hey, man. Hey, Killians. My sewer pipe is currently being fixed, so I'll be able to use water in my house soon without worrying about my basement backing up. So that's nice. I wish we weren't playing Painful Truths. Yeah, me too, probably. We've got a split. We've got Reed and Painful Truths here. I don't know, having the option to get both. I could see 3-1 in the other 3-1 in favor of Reed. Having one Painful Truths to get with Petition on occasion seems fine, though. No, the pipe wasn't just clogged. They are currently excavating my front lawn and replacing a pipe that was damaged. Oh, God. Painful Truths, Llanowar Waste. We are a combo deck, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so what are we doing here? Screenshotting this to start. This is like investigate 3 times or something obnoxious like that. Well, that's not the card I wanted to take Magic Online. I wanted to zoom in on it, but I guess that's the card we're taking now. I mean, I think we're supposed to take Void Shatter there. I'm pretty sure Confirmed Suspicions is the least threatening card in his hand, but I wanted to zoom in on it to confirm what it did. You know, wonderful. It's a feature. I'm sure. Yeah, I was holding Z, and my mouse was over it, and it wasn't working. That's why I clicked to try and make it focus on the application or whatever, and it decided to register my click then. Yeah, the fact that zooming in Hex's right click is just so much better. I did in fact find out what it did. You are not wrong. It was the right pick? Yeah, probably not. I mean, I guess he didn't Void Shatter me, so we got that going for us. It's a good draw, as the kids say. Void Shatter's counter unless I pay 4, right? Oh, it's just straight counter. Alright, well, let's do this then. Probably gets void shattered. We really need to make sure this season's pass resolves. Because this is the only one in the main deck. Which could also be wrong. I guess it depends on the speed of the format you expect, though. Just the old double void shatter. Spatial contortion. Sure. So we're going to take a shatter and then probably run this Kalitas into a second shatter. Seems fine. He shatters this. Next turn we draw untapped land. We get to Seasons Past. Middle click does zoom. Look at that. That's intuitive. That's way easier than... Thank you. I did not know that. Look at that. Learned something new. So if opponent draws a land here, they can go land, archive, still have Void Shatter up. Cast the only spell we can. And he snapped that off because he just wants to play his Hedron Archive out, which is fine. This is not the matchup that Kalitas is here for. So next turn, the question is, what do we do if we hit an untapped land? If we don't hit an untapped land, obviously we're just like firing up Shambling Vent and like cracking in for 5 here. Opponent's hand right now is Spatial Contortion. I guess we're not firing that up. He has Spatial Contortion. Fair. So he has Spatial Contortion, Hedron Archive, Ulamog. Miss another line drop. That would be great. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana right now. Untapped land. That's pretty good. Opponent can't sacrifice this right now, so that's great. Probably the next best thing to an untapped land. The old float mana because it's technically correct to do so? Sure. Sure, man. If you had a counterspell, you'd counter the Anguish Unmaking. Don't kid yourself. Okay. Untapped land. Untapped land. There should probably be 27 lands in this deck. There should probably be 27 lands in this deck. Just saying. Deck's got, what, my four 6-drops in our hand? Is that all of them? Yes, that's all the 6-drops. They do play Spell Shrivel usually. He'd be so dead if we had a land. We'd do this into this, discard spells. The game would just be over. Opponent has a Spatial Contortion in their hand that we are aware of. And since we are trying to hit land drops, I'm not going to get one of my lands killed. Seems like poor play. This is a Droner. Sure, man. You do you. Alright. It's a tapped land at least. Ship with this. If he blocks with this, we go ahead and Languish. Please block. Please block. Deal. I might have cashed in the Languish, honestly, just to keep him off of... Just to keep him off of Ulamog. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's only 1 off of Ulamog right now. And your counterspell? Sure. He's still 3 mana off Ulamog now, though. And you're another Drowner? Sure. It's real life. I think I just have to kill Chandra here. That's fine. Kalidas gave us a little bit of a buffer. We just need to run some lands off here so we can Seasons Pass transgress his Ulamog before he can cast it. He's at 8 right now. Hopefully he just keeps missing land drops here. That would be great. Draw some more like some more spatial contortions ideally. Another Drowner's pretty bad for us. So he has Spatial Ulamog in hand. We're just dead. We missed lands for too long. I think we're just dead. We like cast this and then take an obnoxious amount of damage. I could read for the second transgress, but then we're going to 16 and then I think read for the second transgress is the line here. Doesn't seem great. We're definitely not winning if he double Stone Rains this next turn. That's just like not possible. Not having a real sweeper feels real bad. God, could you imagine if this card was just like Damnation? How good this would be. That's not. You're thinking of the charm. Spatial Contortion is +3, -3. You're thinking of the whatever that card, Eldrazi Charm, whatever it is. I don't think it's actually called Eldrazi Charm. Something like that, though. So opponent's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this is technically 9, 10. Maybe he doesn't see the line. Maybe he doesn't see the line, and then we get to steal a game. You know. Maybe. Probably not, but we'll try it. Play this, kill the Drowner. Wow, alright. This has got 2 draws of counter magic here. Wow, what an idiot. Alright. Guess 3 more looks. That was rude of me. I just don't understand why he's not just like letting me kill this and then like making 2 guys and then Uganing me. Like, we're just like super dead if he Ugans me next turn, and like now he bricked and we get a chance to actually play Magic. Like, this game is so I'm glad I didn't concede, I guess. Like, it was actually just like over if he just like makes guys with Spawning Bed and then Ugans me next turn. Or Ulamog, whatever. The big scary colorless thing that's in his hand. The big scary colorless thing. That's the one. Whatever the big scary colorless thing is. Because we knew all of the cards in his hand. He drew all of those cards in response to me casting the sword. Opponent's hand was Spatial Contortion, Ulamog. Because you guys aren't paying attention to the game of Magic that we are playing. That's why I didn't do that. Because you are not paying attention. Because he drew all of those cards in response to me casting my thing. That's why we didn't do that. Now he has one card we don't know here, so we'll duress in before we start petitioning. Yeah, we're going to petition for Transgress, correct? We're still in this game because my opponent decided to kick the ball. If my opponent had decided I wasn't allowed to win, we wouldn't be winning, but he decided to give us a chance like a trooper. After the sword resolved. Why would I want to do it after the sword resolved? I'd much rather transgress on my turn after he gets to draw. No, I'd much rather, like, whatever he drew. We don't even know what this was in his hand. Like, I'd much rather wait a turn. And, like, what if he draws a counterspell for his turn? I want to make sure my things that I'm doing on my next turn resolve. Like, I don't want to take something like Hedron Archive. I want the maximum percentage to take a counterspell there. Always duress before you play your threats if they're going to see more cards. You don't just, like, randomly fire off your duress afterwards. Like, that's really bad. And we could still die here. Like, he has more Ulamogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So he has Shrine to the Forsaken God. So, like, if he draws another Ulamog here, he just goes, like, Shrine, kill you. So, like, this is... We can put a tick in the Mapamonte was right. If we had an Infinite Obliteration in our deck, we would have won this game column. I guess we wouldn't have, because this Chandra kills us. Alright, opponent tried really hard to lose, and we were unable to capitalize on that. I agree that right there is where it would have been great. What am I doing here? Extra Virulent Plague just to, like, deal with the Scions? We've got Duress too, so... Yeah, one Obliteration in the main might be fine. We need one more card to bring in here. Maybe a Flaying Tendrils. Or Grasp. He's got Creature Lands, just like one random Grasp of Darkness. Oh, Virulent Plague kills Chandra too, right. Yep, Plague seems great. I think I'd rather have a Grasp than a Hollowed Moonlight. I guess Hollowed Moonlight cycles, so it can help us... Oh, we also are on 61, so I do have to bring that back in. Plague deals with the important half of Chandra. Like, the part of Chandra that's killing us, Plague gets, so... Our opponent doesn't have creatures that Kalitas is getting us tokens for, really, so yeah, it's not really a non-bow. Like to play first. Yep. Hand's great. Life's great. Magic's great. Painful Truths is looking really good in this hand. Vent on 1. Vista Duress on 2. Plague on 3. Maybe even just Painful Truths on 3, honestly. Depending on how many lands we hit. We just want to make all our land drops. We would have won that last game by a lot had we hit 6 lands in like 8 turns, I think. Duress you. Fevered Visions. Yep. Could never beat that one. Never, ever, ever. So let's take that away. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do here, since we know our opponent has 2 counterspells, I'm going to pass the turn here. And then on our next turn, we can go Duress plus 3-drop. Play Smushers on the side. Sure. Anticipates a good draw. Sure. We have 1 Anguish Unmaking. Sure. Fevered Visions is probably going to kill us long before we get to our 1 Unmaking, though. This is getting a Schwamp. Next turn, we probably go Duress Truths. Maybe Duress Plague. Plague's pretty important. Although, I guess if we Truths, we're probably going to find more discard. I mean, Anguish Unmaking deals with problem cards, too. Sure, but the tutor's really slow. Tutoring for it, and then it costs you 3 life to resolve Anguish Unmaking, so, like... Duress you. Yeah, I think I'm going to Painful Truce here. We just don't have enough gas. I'd much rather hit a critical massive card because we can rebuy this with Seasons Past. I assume this was getting negated. I guess it's right not to negate this. Yeah, I'm going to take his negate and then I'm going to run the Plague into a Clash of Wills. It's a tight play by our opponent there. Thought for sure he'd counter. It's definitely correct to wait. Don't ask questions. Sure, but like brought in or didn't board out, same difference, right? Like why are there K returns in his deck against me post board? Yes up. Sweet. Look at that. We're gonna hit when you need to draw, when you want to draw lands and spells. Painful Truth is better than Read the Bones. It's definitely true. So this resolved, which should mean our spell resolves next turn as well. But like, what card in his main deck is worse than K return? Like, even Spatial Contortion's better against us because of the creature lands. You play more accelerants when you have more fat things because you want to play your fat things sooner. No, that's not true. That's not true that it is not you can cast Painful Truth so it's better. That's not how Magic works. I disagree with your statement. It's probably a Drowner. That's fine. We're going to Sorin -1 on this and then Petition for Languish. Oh. Oh, I cut the Languishes, didn't I? I cut all of them? Well, I'm a big dumb stupid. Huh. So what are we doing here? I think we're going to... This is awkward. This is awkward, and it's all my fault. Languish is out. Correct. You are correct. I should have 1 Languish in. We will add a Languish back in after this game. For game 3. I am going to get a... I'm going to get the other Plague, and then I'll just use all of Sorin, most of Sorin, to kill this Drowner. Sure, man. Float the mana. I get it. Fine. I'll even play your game. We'll change phases. Yeah, good. Good use of your time. Schwamp. This is probably better in the long run anyways. He's got, like, spawning bed sitting on the table. And this might even encourage him to, like, spend his next turn wandering Foamer hit my Sorin, which would not be the worst. Yeah, sweet. Okay. It's even better when Magic Online rails him. Get wrecked. Woo! This software. Yeah, technically I should have -6 since I was gonna die of the foam roll. That is correct. But since Magic Online worked out in our favor, you know, details. Has Clash of Wills, all just mono duress targets. I think our opponent was losing this game even if he killed our Sorin there. Now he's definitely losing this game. That's why you float that activate. Yep. Wilds, duress, petition, painful truths. Done. Duress you, take away your void shatter. Yeah, definitely the void shatter. Next turn, we're going to petition for infinite obliteration. I knew I was going to be hooked the first time I resolved the Seasons Pass. That card's gross. You activate the right one and kill Sorin this time? Sure. I duressed now because I knew he had a void shatter I wanted to take out of his hand. And it lets me use my mana efficiently. Do I want to do this to start? Just like draw some cards? Yeah, it seems fine. Hit transgress, so... Yeah, I'm just going to obliterate. How many lands does he get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I'm not in danger of getting Ulamogged yet. Not in danger of getting Ulamogged yet. Could, like, petition for, like, play Forest, petition for infinite obliteration for later. And, like, transgress away his thing. Yeah. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do here is let's do... Oh, I should have played the Swamp. I'm going to take an extra point of damage. Oh, no, never mind. I'm a liar. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cast Dark Petition and grab Infinite Obliteration. But we're not going to cast it right now. We're going to go ahead and use 2 of our 3 mana with this and transgress him. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cycle this Hollowed Moonlight. Just to be resource efficient. I don't think we really need it to win this game. It's a good one. Jaroka does seem good here. You're not wrong. Oh no. Is this one gonna resolve? I really hope this resolves. This resolves, it'll be really good for us. Has the Ulamog in his hand. Waiting a turn. Got him. The old screenshot your deck. Yeah, one. Ah. These are my things. Oh yeah, man. Fevered visions. We can race that. Man, how greedy am I? I feel like the answer to that question is pretty greedy. You can't like this even protects us against Chandra. Oh. The extra threats out of the board seem great. Oh no, don't for me. How will I ever win the game? Is it pretty greedy always the answer? I mean, if you've watched the stream long enough, you know that that's always the answer. When in doubt, take the line that draws more magic cards. Woo! Speaking of drawing magic cards, God, you know, I'm just gonna be a good boy, and we should kill my opponent. Taylor Swift with the $10 donation. Big fan, keep it up. Thank you for the support. Thanks for watching, mate. I appreciate it. Get back Sorin. Petition. What other creatures does he have in his deck? Do I want to infinite obliteration him again? He's got like 2 drowners left. Yeah, I'm just going to rebuy Sorin and Petition. Begin sideboarding. I think even if you would have had the right line there, with not having the Moto misclick, we'd have won that game. Kalidas doesn't seem great. I'm going to cut these and bring in the extra Hollowed Moonlight and 1 Languish, just in case we get a situation like we did that last game where I want to go get it. Revenge is what the Petition was going to get next turn if he wasn't super dead already. Hand seems great. Double discard. Run an endless one. I think we have the giant threats spectrum covered. It's another good one. Even if this gets countered, there's more where it came from. God, having 7 discard post board feels great. Great. I think we just have to take the Fevered Visions, right? We're not in a position to beat this card this early. Yeah, I just have to take the Fevered Visions. Seasons past can get back endless one instead of a land. That's... Magic is a game of skill. At least we have this Dragon Lord. We definitely weren't beating doubled Fevered Visions, so... Huh, he drew Clash. think I'm just taking this Jace to make sure this resolves. Because he's still going to have 2 counters either way or 2 Hedron Archives. So yeah, I'm going to take the Jace. Duress. 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 Okay. Just cast this. We just want to keep our hand as empty as possible. Won't be surprised when this runs into a counterspell. He has to this though. He can't clash it. Sure, man. Hopefully 2 turns away from this Jamoka. Now he gets to run the Hedron Archives out here. Thankfully, if he plays Hedron Archive this turn, we get to Infinite Obliteration him next turn. Yeah, just wants to hold up a counterspell. Okay. Again, just want to cast my spells. I know I could possibly have a Jamoka next turn, but like our bottleneck here is definitely resources. Clash for 1. No, I cannot pay it. 2 draws for land, untapped land. There we go. Sweet. So we get to play Jamoka next turn, and then hopefully Jamoka means that we're going to win this game. I don't know. We'll see where we're at. It might be correct to name Drownor with the first one. You're right. Good call, fam, on the 1 Dragon Lord Jamoka. This card's already been worth its weight in gold. Obviously, we're playing against like mono counter spells, but card's already been great. Duress, wonderful. It makes these seasons pass much better. I cast the Petition into the Clash because between Fevered Visions and 2 Seasons Passed in our hand, we're going to have infinite cards in our hand for this entire game. Just like infinite cards. So he's going just Thing. Or do you draw a Jace or a Drowner? He could go Archive here. That's what I mean by Thing 4 and then tap Archive, play second Archive. We are trying a new flavor of Standard Journeys. This is our first match with the deck, and Jamoka's been insane against the deck full of islands, believe it or not. Jace. Oh, he can just bounce this? That's really good. The rest of you. Smusher? Oh no. I guess Smusher's not good against Jamoka though. So we take Chandra here. And then we play a land. I think we just Petition kill Jace. We got some options here. It was also his second Jace, just like had 2 Jace, 2 Fevered Visions in his deck. Now, I guess I don't think we really care about the Smusher. I think I just go like kill Jace this turn and next turn replay Jamoka, and he's probably pretty cold to that. Yeah, I like Petition kill Jace too. Get out of here, troll. We had 3 transgresses in our opening hand. We've been looking at his hand the entire game. I get it. You don't understand basic numbers. It's okay. Our school system is poor, but we're not going to talk about that in chat here. We're supposed to get the foil Ruinous Path, right? So we're dead to another Chandra next turn. Going to 3 here. Oh, you. We're dead to second Smusher because it lets him activate this. Hopefully he activates the wrong one. Oh, he just has double Smusher. Okay. Okay, that's real. Well, I was right in my assessment that we were never beating this card. Fuck you. Oh, that was rude. I'm not in a great mood today. My opponent said GG's. You ripped off. He had three reality smashers in, or 2 reality smashers and 3 draws. Like, take Fevered Visions, draw Fevered Visions. Take Jace, draws Jace. Like, this card is so tilting. Don't abuse bans. Oh no! What if I ban you? Don't tell me how to moderate my chat. This is not a democracy, this is a dictatorship. I do what I want. Please don't ban me. Immortals, you're kind enough to sub to the channel. My subs get some leeway. They're good people. Long live the dictator. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the deck's got a lot of neat things going on. That's why when Matt was like, I think this deck is good, you should try it, I was like, sure, let's try it. Because, like, it's got a lot of neat things going on. God, you know what my favorite is? My favorite is when they message me right after I ban them, just to complain about it. Way to get yourself ignored, too. This ultimate price looks... God, look at this mana base. Look at how good this deck is. We've got this Languish here, too. Let's just put these cards over here. Let's just put them off to the side. We don't need these magic cards. Ain't nobody got time for these magic cards. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Watch him ingest a swamp. Alright, good. Ingested and uncastable. Solid. Man, Maddie owes me 120 play points. Just can never win. Can never win. Maddie, I hope you're watching. Oh no, I forgot to start recording. I will have to manually rip these and put them together later. It's unfortunate. It just means the archive will be a little late. Drew a different uncastable. Deck's perfect. Can never change it. Languish seems pretty medium. Virulent Plague's probably off. He definitely has Chandra at his top end, so Plague's probably not unplayable, but mostly unplayable. I never apologize for being lucky. Like, that's just Magic sometimes. Like, that's the game. We play the game knowing that you live by the sword, die by the sword. Like, that's just how Magic works. Ah, the light, it burns!
Come here, I need to show you something. See the pipe this big?
Yeah.
Right there? That's a tree root growing through the pipe that's as big as the pipe.
Oh. That's what was stuck in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see it? That clay piece right there?
Yep. And tree roots won't grow through PVC.
Yeah. Yeah. So they, I'll tell you later, but...
Sure.
They're done. I'm going to start some laundry so that we can run some water for them.
Awesome. Non-artificial light. Sorry about that. My wife was showing me the issue. Apparently the pipes weren't offset. There was a giant tree root in the pipes. Stupid nature. Ruining my technology. That's awesome, Druda. Alright, this looks keepable. Probably still can't win, but this is keepable at least. Opponent mulliganed, so you're saying there's a chance. Hey, Ian. Alright, guess up a little bit here. Die to a reality smasher next turn. No! No! Don't negate me! At least this languish is going to resolve. The deck is a steaming pile of poop. Roar! What are we getting with this is the question. I'm gonna get Nissa, actually. Assuming this resolves. Pass the turn. God, we might actually win this game. It's kind of scary. By kind of scary, I mean, let's flip my Nissa and then petition for a languish. So yeah, let's just close the game out. I'm going to petition for a languish here and then make a 4/4. Yeah, no return. Get wrecked. Orla Rogue, that's good. It's better than... I got scared he was going to Thought Not Seer me there for a second. I was a little worried. Virulent Plague's definitely great, though. Because he's got these tokens on top of everything else. Let's get a Schwamp. Let's go ahead and... I guess if I Seasons Past, I lose my Nissa, but I think that's fine, because we're drawing a bunch of cards with this. Wild, Languish, Petition, Truth, Transgress. Done. The old draw 5. I'm not going to attack with my 4/4 because I'd rather save myself the 2 life. I'm a little surprised he hasn't upkeeped the Seagate Wreckage one of these turns yet. Feel like I would have done that by now, but I also might just be a little greedy. Duress you. Okay, what are we doing here? I think I just attack, languish, and then grasp his guy he plays at unstep. That seems fine. He gets one chance to save it. There's a land on top of my deck, it saves it. It's unfortunate. Not sure how we're ever going to beat that card advantage. I'm just going to get Dragon Lord Jamoka. I think that'll just, like, close the game out. Didn't play his guy in response. It's not pretty, Maddie. Maddie, it's not pretty. We owe one and we down a game in this second match. It ain't a good scene. No! Stop it, opponent. Stop it. Ah, gain 7. We're going to win the game where my opponent mulliganed, and then I got to 3 for 1 hit with a Languish. Whoa, Maddie, these are competitive leagues. I'm not sure if you're aware. That makes them the pinnacle of testing. He gets 2 chances now because he's got 2 colorless lands. Miss. Come on, one more brick. One more brick. One more brick. Dead. Dead, little infiltrator. You ain't infiltrating nothing. You dead. Opponent has more things that die to Languish than I was anticipating, so I'm going to put some of those back in. You're not wrong, Maddie. This is the type of deck I enjoy playing. Kick my path. Target you and you. Dead. Duress is more medium than I thought it was going to be. I think I almost want a Flaying Tendrils too. We got the Whirler Rogues and stuff. Don't vote for the enemy. These are valuable fun bucks on the line. I need these fun dollars. We're running low on fun dollars, actually, because these competitive leagues don't award you fun dollars. They mostly award you tickets, so I might have to start putting tickets back into the system soon. Would not be surprised if the MTGO economy crashes with the competitive leagues existing now. What does this hand do? Cast Languish on 4? Sounds great. Don't Hedron Crawler me on 2, bro. That's wonderful. Alright, you can Hedron Crawler me now. We're being infiltrated! Oh no! Oh no, we're being infiltrated! Play a 3-drop. Play a 3-drop. Rats. We're so unlucky. Different 3-drop, sure. I'm just gonna Flaying Tendrils now. It takes 3 power off the table, and then I can play Kalitas next turn. Howdy me. Don't thought not me. Don't thought not me. Ruinator Guide? God, if he would have played that last turn, it would have been so good. Should have been more specific, yep. Or Sky Spawner. God, that would have been so good. So good. So good. Boo doo 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 doo. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Don't smush me, don't smush me, don't smush me, don't smush me. Sure. What am I doing here? I think I'm attacking and then languishing. Can we beat a negate? We just can't beat a negate, right? Yeah. Unsack it. Gross. Okay. Okay. There are still spatial contortions in your deck. Okay. God, how good would basic planes be next turn? That'll also do, pig. That'll also do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Triggers. Man, are we gonna stabilize this? We got this Nissa's Renewal and then these 2 Demonic Tutors. Jeez, am I gonna have to take back some of the bad things I said to Maddie about this deck? Watch the first match, Maddie. You'll hate yourself. Am I okay trading this for this? I think the answer to that question is yes. Although I suppose... Yeah, I'm okay with that trade. Because next turn I just get to petition for Languish and Languish the board. I only brought in 1 Flying Tendrils, I believe, right? I could get Virulent Plague. That doesn't seem awful. Because this still hangs out and blocks that. And this makes his future tokens worse. I'm going to do this. If we had another Flying Tendrils in the deck, we'd have gotten it there, but we didn't, so we can't. Plague Angel token combo, right? Right. Both at almost 20. Another 2/1, sure. Get back. Petition. Kalidas. Flying Tendrils. Renewal. We're double queuing the same match, right? Make sure the coast is clear. It likely is. So if I can petition here and get seasons passed, but we don't have to cast that right now. We can go ahead and cast this Nissa's Renewal using our lands and the 3 that we got here. Yeah, probably should have transgressed there first. That's fair. We just have this extra transgress sitting in our hand. We have a game now because this is the only seasons passed in our deck right now. That's unfortunate. Maybe there should just always be 2 seasons passed in the deck. Hey, Settolution. What am I supposed to do here now? I think we're starting by casting Petition. It's what are we getting with it is the question. Saurian's not bad. Dragon Lord's not bad. You probably just can't beat the Dragon Lord, right? Kalidas Tendrils doesn't work how you want it to work. Yeah, my line was bad because there's Thought-Knot Seers in his deck. Welcome back, Finks. Well, I think Jamocha holds the fort down, thankfully. That's a good one. Some more good ones. I'm just going to go ahead and flang here and kill a Sky Spawner. And then Soren's going to down tick and kill this for only 2. I guess I don't get a zombie with that sequence. Maybe that's loose. Obviously not attacking with Dragonlord here. Yeah, when multiple replacement effects are applied to the same thing, the person whose thing that the replacement effects are being applied to gets to choose the order in which the replacement effects take place. So basically my opponent chooses to exile it to Flying Tendrils as opposed to exiling it to Kalitas. So Kalitas' other text that says if it's exiled by Kalitas you get a zombie, just isn't relevant. Oh, plagues kill zombies anyways. Good. Good call. Alright, we're going to have a quick word from the stream sponsor, and then we'll be back with some more matches of Abzan Seasons Pass. Stay tuned, folks. Thanks for hanging out this afternoon.
Oh, hi there, folks. It's Television's Ruben Bressler here from Tales of Adventure to talk about Eternal Extravaganza, which is one of the highlights of the Magic calendar in 2016. This 4th installment of EE will be taking place June 18th and 19th at the Merchant Square Mall in historic Allentown, Pennsylvania. There's a 15K Legacy main event on Saturday, and both Modern and Vintage 10Ks on Sunday. Every player that registers for any of the 3 main events will receive an awesome exclusive EE4 playmat. Prizes will be paid down all the way to X and 3 in Legacy and X and 2 in both Vintage and Modern, and all 3 event champions will receive not only top prizes, but also some really sweet looking trophies. For those that can't make it, I'm sorry, but we will be broadcasting EE4 live on twitch.tv/Tales of Adventure throughout the weekend. So visit eemagic.com or check out the hashtag EE4MTG to learn how you can become an Eternal Master this June 18th and 19th at Eternal Extravaganza.
Alrighty. Waiting to queue. We're 1-1, Maddie. Scoreboard. We are on the table. We are above the board. I'll tilt this down a little bit. I'd like to say thank you to all 400 people that are hanging out here this afternoon. There's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching. So thanks for choosing to spend part of your Tuesday morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are, here with us. It is Tuesday, right? All day? It is Tuesday. Look at that. Even got the day right. And it seems great. The Dramoka's been insane in the board, Betty. I'm glad someone talked me into adding that. Mono black control. I mean, killing people with Nahiri isn't complicated. It gives you some more free wins as opposed to having to work for most all of them. I will figure out how giveaways work for next week, Maddie. I promise. I'm meaning to give away some of these extra playmats that I have too, so. But I think if I give away a playmat, I'm going to do it with the stipulation that whoever gets it has to pay for shipping, so that way people who only actually want the playmat will enter instead of people just like entering to try and get something to sell themselves. Just pro tip. If you bring your magic cards on an airplane, never check them. Never check your magic cards. Ever, ever, ever. Playing its black-white, it looks like. So right now we look like a mirror. Because bags get lost when you travel on airplanes all the time. And it is difficult to file a claim to get... I actually just want both of these, right? It's difficult to file a claim to get magic cards replaced compared to other things. Yeah, they will often pat you down. That is definitely true. They will often be like, "What is in your bag, sir?" Nope, sir, the bag. Windows doesn't ever really work, Maddie, to be fair. Nixilish, sure. Ruinous Path this, get sword next turn, feel bad about life. Cast Nissa's Renewal, feel good about life. Green, black, black. Big bucks, no Soren? Sweet. This is probably getting unmakinged. I'm just gonna go ahead and ship. We've got enough lands now that I'm gonna go ahead and ship with. You know, I should have gotten the planes there, so that way I could ship with both Shambling Vents. I didn't think about that. And I'm fine with this just eating crap and dying. I think the best Nahiri deck in Modern is Kiki Cord. The Jeskai and Mardu shells have all been fairly unimpressive in my testing. Dino, Neo, and Tethos with the host. Thank you. Aren't getting value out of adding white to deck. I mean, I know if you've watched the entire stream today, 2 entire matches with it, so you're probably an expert on the opinion of how much value we've gotten out of it, but the white cards seem to add a reasonable amount in my experience. Like the Dromoka and the Linvala alone have won us a lot of games, not to mention Soren's been reasonable as well. Having 8 creature lands is good in these types of matchups also. I just hate when people crap on things that they've never played. Like the number of people that go like Kiki Cord's a great example. The number of people that looked at my Kiki Cord deck lists and go, "Oh, why are you playing Courser of Crewfix? And it's like, well, Courser Crewfix isn't good, so I cut it. And I'm like, well, did you play any games with the Courser before you cut it? Well, no, I didn't play any games. I looked at the deck list and the Courser wasn't good, so I got rid of it. And I was like, well, maybe you should try playing games with it, because like there's a reason why I played Courser at this event and I've played Courser at a lot of other events, because I thought it was very reasonable and it was good in all of my testing. Yeah, man. Get that creature land in there. You get in there. Wait till I draw a Seasons Pass. So we got 4 Seasons Pass left in our deck, basically. Got 3 Dark Petitions and 1 Seasons Pass. That's not great. Thankfully, we're at 25, so this beatdown's going to take us a little while. Kalidas of his own, maybe? Gideon would be scary. I guess Gideon's less scary because we have this. Now I really want a Seasons Pass. So that way I can... So I can rebuy this Ruinous Path, among other things. Ultimate price. Valuable. Yeah, sure. Like, I understand that like the deck's hard to evaluate, but if you're inexperienced and like the deck looks difficult to evaluate, you shouldn't just make a bunch of random changes going with your gut. Even I don't do that, and I play a lot of Magic. I play more Magic than most people in the world probably, and like I play decks very thoroughly before I just start randomly making changes. He's got his 1 probably or 2 Topps Dark Petitions. That's sad. This is getting a Anguished Unmaking probably for this annoying card. Read the Bones. Interesting. So we've seen 1 Dark Petition and 25 cards. I guess we filtered a lot of lands out too, so like really we've only drawn like 20 cards. Opponent went bottom top with that read. So we're dead in like 3 turns here if we continue breaking off. Alright, that's the opposite of a brick, ladies and germs. Oh, we've got creature lands in here too. Boom. 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 There's only 1 more basic left in our deck, but that's fine. This is still a ramp 1, gain 7. Sorin's scary here, I guess. Goes Westphal Abbey, sure. I get to ship my Shambling Vent into his Sorin, so if we draw a Sorin here, we can Vent into his Sorin and then Sorin his Sorin. Yo, dog. Probably does stuff. Ruinous Path, Languish. Sure, let's take that. Do I even want to play this Kalidas out? I feel like I don't. Casting this Nissa's Renewal, it only gets us our 1 basic that's left, but it gains us 7 and it shuffles the Seasons Pass back into our deck, which we would not mind drawing again. A nice healthy 29. It's a good draw. I feel like game 1, we could very realistically just, like, run out of threats in this matchup. Wait, why did... Oh, it revealed from Sorin. I was like, why did Gideon get revealed? I'm F6, so Sorin just went off. So he just forgot to activate his Gideon. Seems good for us since we drew this. This game was going to be close, and then my opponent forgot to... I guess he'd only be 2 points of life higher, because Event would have finished the Gideon there. How do we run out of threats? Well, we could just deck ourselves while we're... Well, Seasons Pass can just keep shuffling itself back in. Okay, yeah, I guess we can't run out of threats. I guess that's fair. Solar Sorin? Has to be, right? Only other X spells secure, and we have a Plague. Oh, Ruinous Path that we knew about. Sure. This actually isn't bad for us either because... Oh, this stops Kalidas. God, this is such a combo. We get to cash in our Languish next turn, though, so they've got that going for us. Cash in this Languish. Oh, we knew he had a Ruinous Path in his hand, Brolabear. I like diversifying our threats. Like, he had to spend a removal spell to kill our Awakened land, and our Shambling Vent is still beating him down now. Like, if we would have awakened the Shambling Vent, we wouldn't have any threats on the board right now. So our Gideon, sure. So looking for one of our 4 Seasons Pass at the moment. English and Making ain't bad. Yep, no worries. Yeah, in these attrition-y matchups, you basically just want to have a large raw number of threats as opposed to having a single good threat. Like, we're both just trying to attrition each other out. Like this Shambling Vent that we got back on the zero of, you know, the 0 from the Seasons Pass. Like, it's going the distance here. It's going for speed. It's all alone in its time of need. It's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's all alone in his time of need. Kill that one. And now we both have 1 Shambling Vent, so we need to hit action. I think our action density is higher than his at this point. Our percentage of high impact action is higher, I think. You know, he has at least a Languish. He's on the Ruinous Path. We'll take that away. Languish price is just like continuing to not play my Kalidas out. We are not playing Obnixilis. We have 2 copies of Sorin to kill our opponent. There we go. There's the card he can't beat. Because it gets the other card he can't beat. Duress, Petition, Unmaking, Renewal, Shambling Vent, Grasp of Darkness, just like actually draw 7. How about Duress you again? I tapped my lands wrong. Apologies. Are we done here yet? You're down on clock. You're going to keep playing? Sure, man. You do you. Did I skip 4? I skipped 4 by mistake. Apologies. Sorry. Big sorry goes out to the number 4 for my forgetting about it. Got that main deck Virulent Plague. Opponent's down 4 minutes on the clock and has to win 2 games. Just board in all the threats. Extra discard. Extra plague. Ultimate price is poop soup. Kalitas is not good. Some number of Languish are okay. Actually, is Languish just worse than Flying Tendrils? Like that, is that correct? Someone correct me in chat if I'm wrong. Hallowed Moonlight's probably supposed to come in. Need to cut 2 cards. I think I might cut some Duresses. They get kind of dead in the late game in this matchup. Like, leave 1 in to... I guess he's probably boarding in Squidbillies, so I want more Flying Tendrils. He's boarding into Eldrazi. Yeah, but, like, so if he has, like, exactly... Okay, yeah, I guess I'll leave the Languishes in. It's a pretty minor difference. He probably has to leave his board his Kalitas in too, just like max out on threats. Seem quite top heavy. This deck is mono top heavy. I think I'd rather just have 2 Languish. I don't think I want anything else out of here. I guess Clip Wings answers Ormondal. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Clipped Wings kills Ormondal. Trimmer Grasp. Grasp plus Languish kills Ormondal. Double Grasp kills Ormondal. I don't think I want Obliteration. If we see a bunch of Squidbillies, I might bring it in for game 3 if we lose this, but the matchup gets harder post-board. Opponent has more discard post-board. Stay ahead on clock is the goal. I don't think opponent can... I guess if he has a bunch of Squidbillies, he can realistically win in time, but... We don't really have colorless lands to activate Worldbreaker's ability profitably. Opponent on 63 cards. He doesn't want to deck out. The game goes long. 6, 7, 8, 5, 3... Yeah, 63 cards post board. Good old 63 card post board. That's funny. Okay. Think we just take the Gideon here. One of the two. We can unmaking the second one, hit a land. Linval lets us stabilize a little bit. He has Kalitas in his deck. It's a good read. I mean, this deck draws more cards, and everyone knows how I feel about drawing magic cards. Now, hopefully you all know how I feel about drawing magic cards. Hint, it's awesome. This deck feels like it wants the 27th land, Maddie. We have a lot of 5 and 6s. It's not like the black-white deck's choked full of 4s, so like 26 is fine. I think this deck wants a 27th land. It could even be like like one Westvale Abbey or like one Blighted Fen. I don't think we need more colored sources, but I think we want one more land in the 75. I could see cutting a Duress. 2 Duress in the main's probably fine. 2 Duress, 2 Transgress. A Blighted Fen to recur. Yeah. Yeah, my gut says 1 Duress can go. Like, looking at all these numbers. You think that would be my cut? Opponent's hand is Kalidas on making Obnixilis, so I'm safe to attack with this. Opponent is learning Anguish and making doesn't deal with creature lands. This is Obnixilis. Oh, that was a mistake. I didn't realize we don't have 2 green for this. It like defaulted to getting more black. That's not very good. That's a huge mistake. I could lose this the game. So now he can Obnix, down tick kill this, but then Angel kills Obnix. And then Ruinous Path kills this. I just had it in my head that I could cast all of my cards and it didn't matter. But it very much did matter. Forest. That is one of the true things about streaming. It is very easy to mess up things like that. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, in addition to playing the game and talking about the game and trying to read chat, I'm also keeping up on, like, making sure the stream isn't cutting out. I'm staying at a decent frame rate, all that kind of jazz. So, you know, call out the mistakes when we see them, but it's definitely something I could have avoided there. Just fetching correctly. My gut was like, we've done a bunch of double black cards. We might want to double spell, double black cards at some point here. Which is definitely true. We do want to do that at some point, but I would much rather be able to cast this. So his last card is Anguished Unmaking. We're not in we'd be in a pretty commanding spot if we had a second green. Petition. Am I casting this for Hissing Quagmire? I think I am. Yeah. I'm getting Hissing Quagmire and then using Ruinous Path to kill his Kalidas. You know, unmaking my Angel. It's aggressive. Linvala makes Angel tokens. I think I like the blue splash. That puts us dead on board. It's unfortunate. Five, 6, 7, 8. So I only have 2 left over, and I haven't cast any Grasp of Darknesses yet this game. I think I'm supposed to just pass the turn here. I couldn't cast Petition for Renewal, right? I only had He only had 4 lands. If I could cast the renewal there, sure. Or like we would have taken a lot of damage then. Like the Kalita still would have been on the board. I didn't actually sit there and count out the math, but if he's firing up both of these and shipping in, that's good for us. Because both of our creature lands can block, and we drew another green source here. So we just get to go animate. Animate. Moved blocks. Block here. Block here. Eat, trade, take 2. And then we're no longer dead on board, so I can tap out for seasons. I drew another Shambling Vent. Okay, that attack makes sense now. Here. So if I would have traded with both of his 2/2s, I would have eaten the other 2/2. I would have been able to cast Seasons Pass this turn. I mean, you're not attacking here, right? That's awful. What did the kids say? YOLO? I think I like how I boarded. Wouldn't hate another Languish. Grasp seems fine. I'm gonna cut Clip Wings. Yeah, go out on your own terms. Keep. I love keeping hands like this in these matchups. Love it. Just make all your land drops, live off the top, live by the sword, die by the sword. Oh, 3 of our lands are spells. Opponent mulligan 5. God, look how good I am. It almost looks like I hipped a real hand now. We just read the bones here. Get back in this game. Yep. Opponent mulligan to 5 on the draw, but, you know, these decks mulligan really well when there's no one there when your opponent's deck's not going to punish you. We have to go ahead and get in here with the Shambling Vent. Always get your free points in. No point in representing something that we don't actually have. Just like take my free 4-point swing. Opponent caught back up on time a little bit, has 9 minutes for this game. If it's Gideon here, we get to Ruinous Path it, so it's not the worst. Thought Not Seer. Sure, we've got 3 different answers for your Squidbilly. Probably takes the sword, yeah. That's a good draw. Show me what you got. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to burn Ruinous Path here. Keep my life total high. Look for a Petition or a Plague. Painful Truths is good. Draw a Planeswalker? Read the Bones? Sure. If we don't get this taken away from us this turn, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. We'll likely be in a pretty good spot. Get to gas up. Play this out. Pass the turn. Oh no, Linvala doesn't make a lot of things. We're so unlucky. Soren? Sure. Caves enters the revealed zone. So I'm playing this out. What do I want to do here? I think this Petition is getting Seasons Pass next turn. Now I use a third-party tool to take screenshots. I don't think we want to get Seasons Pass ahead of time because of discard. I think it's Unmaking Pass. Can we Petition Seasons Pass next turn? We go land, and that's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'm just going to Unmaking and pass because we can Petition plus Seasons Pass next turn as is. I don't want to put the Seasons Pass in my hand in the event like he has a Transgress or something here. This is less mana efficient, but I'd rather have it in my hand. Oh, I missed 2 points of damage here. That was sloppy. Opponent should be at 12 right now. I was so caught up in my line and counting that I didn't realize that we were just missing some points of damage for no reason. Want to get Painful Truths? Yeah, I'm going to get Painful Truths and Trent. Yeah, getting Painful Truths is probably greedy. Although I guess he hasn't played a threat yet. I have 2 removal spells in my hand. Yeah, I'm going to get Painful Truths for now. We need Ruinous Path. We can always Petition for it. Opponent was tapped out, though. Oh, watch him have an Abbey here. We knew about Secure. Watch him have an Abbey. Even Gideon's pretty bad for us here. I guess Abbey's not the worst. We have Languish plus Grasp. Obnex, sure. I had Hissing Quagmire. This attacks. Hissing attacks. I had Quagmire mana up. So we're definitely playing a land. So this is 2, 2, and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can Petition, Plague, Petition, Ruinous Path. Right? That's how that math works. Cast this. Definitely want Plague. No, I'm short of doing that, right? And then I cast this. Yeah, I'm 1 short of doing that. That's fine. We're still gonna go get. We're gonna go get Ruinous Path here, and then we're just going to go ahead and cast Virulent Plague and then transgress him. We could have Linval in play. You're not wrong. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, his hand is bad at least. Wow, he had Westphal and chose not to use it. Interesting. Maybe he drew it off the Ob next list draw. So next turn is Linvala plus Path. Assuming we don't get transgressed, of course. His hand is not great right now. Got that going for us. There's the Westphal that we knew about. What you got? Vents activate? Sure. I suppose I could kick this. I'm one short of kicking this. Yeah, I don't really feel like losing a land. So I'm just gonna do this regular and then play the Linvala and call it. Need to gain 5 here. Some timely reinforcements. I'm aware he has double grasp. This getting double grasp is fine. We are running a little bit light on gas if he draws a discard spell for this, though. Do I think worth noting? Other things worth noting, though, are he's spending double grasp on here, and then he has a swamp and 2 cards we don't know, but he's got 1 creature land to our 4 creature lands at this point, so even if, like, we both end up running on E, we're a little bit ahead. This is read the bones into discard. We could be in trouble. Do you got another Ob? Petition. So this is going to be Sorin, probably. Gives him 3 black and then pays 3 more. That was a good draw after we just transgressed him. I guess he had 3 draws. He had his draw step, Obnexus, then another draw. Petition's such a good card. Leaving up another grasp. I top 16 of the Moto RPTQ. Went 5 and 2. Good for a slap on the back and a try again next time. Show me what you got. It's a pretty good one to get. Double bottom. Play this out. Pass the turn. Try not to die to this sword. It's the goal. Don't die to this sword. Okay. It's a good one for Sorin to get after we take his Anguish on making away. I would like a forest. Yeah, the RPTQ is sealed. If he goes to Blighted Finesse in response, we'll activate a creature land. Am I supposed to just do this? I think I'm supposed to draw cards here. Definitely not supposed to tap the white. I guess he has Blighted Fence, so we're not activating this anyways, though. Double bottom, not Ruinous Path. Hey, look, Ruinous Path. There's 3 Ruinous Paths in this deck, right? Yeah. There's not one exiled. Sweet. Petition. Ruinous Path. Kill that guy. So if he has Anguished into Secure, we were in trouble there. But other than that, I think we're feeling pretty good now. You find... Alright, Shambling Vent, sure. Me or Ness? It has to be me, right? And I feel like his best chance of winning this is to steal it by pressuring me. Yep. He agrees. Swamp enters the revealed card zone. Show me what you got. You got Secure and some other stuff. Languish, sure. Activate this one first. Play around his Blighted Fen. Activate the life gain one. Alright, looks like we've firmly locked this game up. He gets the Blighted Fen me off my Hissing Quagmire. And we haven't even cast one Seasons past this game, right? Like we're not even like we haven't even had a chance to like he's been pressuring us enough that we haven't even been able to loop them, and it looks like we're gonna win. If he draws like Reality Smasher this turn, that could be bad for us, but I guess we get to just like grasp it and discard something extra. Just has to hope we don't have a grasp. Would not be surprised to see a concession here. More vents, sure. Alright, let's gain some life, team. God, the Nissa's Renewal is so good. I had not made a red splash of this deck previously. I'm not sure where you got that from. That was not me. I haven't played Standard in a while. Make sure we don't deck here. I guess Seasons Past means we don't deck, right? Card just keeps coming back. With the Virulent Plagues, we can kill a Merit Leech. We have Sorin. Sorin's like better up next to us in this deck. These are my things. There are many like them, but these ones are mine. Oh no, he took our Seasons Past. How can we win? How can we win? Oh no. He took the card our deck is named after. I'm pretty sure we know all the cards in his hand, but let's just confirm. Kill him with this alt. It was a grind, but we got there. So one of the things that worries me about playing this deck at a paper tournament is timing out. Like, you could... Timing out's a real thing. The old secure for the old negative 3 tokens. No, yeah, this is a season's pass deck. All right, let's run a quick ad and then we'll be back. Maddie, you're gonna sucker me into playing this bad deck. I can feel it. Bardic Community, $10. Back to the 1337 with you. Thanks, Bardic. Probably. I think this deck wants a 27th land. I'm pretty confident that this or something up here wants to be a 27th land. These Kalidases in the main deck seem like poop. I haven't been happy with this in the main deck. I consider slow play to be if we are not playing at a rate quick enough to finish our match in 3 games throughout the duration of a thing. Green white tokens. Okay. See, if we crap on this matchup, Maddie, you might have me sold. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? Just like uncastables. Hope they're still on green white tokens. Top. We'll have all of my land drops, please. Looking like green white tokens. I'm going to play this next turn and just get Dromoka's commanded and like want to vomit all over the place, but I think we're supposed to play this on 3 as opposed to the Nissa. Looking like Bant Company. Hard games 2 and 3. Yeah, Evolving Wilds just like craps on you, right? I will have an article. Posted on Friday on MTG Card Market, talking about getting into competitive Magic that's applicable not only to Kiki Cord, but just everything in general. It's a really good article. Ah! Well, we tried, fam. I'm going to cast the Nissa here, even though I'm languishing next turn, because I would like to hit my land drop for sure next turn. Maybe. Please play more creatures. Please play more creatures. Please play more creatures. Creatures. It's a creature feature. I'm blocking here, and the reason why I'm blocking here is because he cracks this clue, means he can't collected company when I languish him. It's fine. This comes back with Seasons Past. It's fine. Calm down. Calm down. It is fine. I understand what I have done, and it was fine. The old spend the languish to kill your guy that drew one card and your guy that drew another card. I mean, the plague won for one, Tim. Like, that wasn't a big deal. If it's not, it's fine. We won for one, Tim, with a plague. It worked out. Don't mind me. Just gonna cast this languish to kill your guy that drew two cards. Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine, I agree. It's not like our opponent has 4 cards in hand and 2 draws on the table. That would be bad. We'd be dead if that was the case. Hold on. I need to throw up some more. Where's the garbage can? Where's the garbage can? No, be gentle. Be gentle. Don't touch me there. Is this legal to show on Twitch? This reaming this guy is giving us? Is this reaming that we are currently receiving legal to show on Twitch? Oh, God. Don't play a second one. Don't play a second lieutenant. Have a heart. Just casual 8. Yep. You know, whatevs. NBD. No big deal. All right. There's 4 languishes. We came to play. Don't worry. We came to play. He's just going to collected company us again and then untap and kill us. How big are his testicles? Is he going to like collected company in response and try and find the lieutenant? I guess that only says Reflector Mage, right? Oh, Dramoka's command. Okay. Seems good. Seems good. Lambolt Pacifist. Yep. Oh, yeah. No big deal. Just some more stuff and things. maybe his last two cards aren't good. Maybe there's a world where his last two cards are both bad. Dead. So dead. So dead. Do 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 do. Beep 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 dee 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 dee. God, this card wasn't even good. Why did he kill it? Opponent had infinite cards. The game was over. The game wasn't necessarily done next turn, but it was over. We kill the 4/5, and then he technically doesn't have a 4-power creature except for the card in his hand, the card he was drawing, the clue he was drawing with, and the card he was drawing for his turn. So like assuming our opponent bricked on 4 draws in a row, then we draw gas and they continue bricking on more draws. I'm not sure if I like Flying Tendrils in this matchup. It doesn't kill Sylvan Advocate. It doesn't kill Reflector Mage. It doesn't kill anything after Thalia's Lieutenant goes to work. This is basically just for mono white humans. Let's submit like this. Don't put garbage in the chat like I think X is a bad card. Say I think X is a bad card because I think X is a good card because if you're not creating discussion, you are just generating noise, and noise is not useful for anyone. So explain yourselves. Educate. That's what we're here to do. Say, I think it's bad for reasons X, Y, Z. I think card, ABC is better for these reasons. Opponent mulliganed and kept one lander on the draw. Okay. Fair. I've been greedier, I suppose. I love the tank there after he drew the card for the turn. Like, what are you going to do? Not play the second land that you drew? Where is my 27th land? In this deck it needs to be. Where is the 27th land? In my deck it should be. You're gonna Reflector Mage? Yeah, man, you do you. You do you, opponent. That God bless you. Do we have to explain it? That one we accept as common knowledge. Dramoka seems exceptionally good in this matchup. Dramoka seems exceptionally good in this matchup. Like, making them play on their turn seems like a huge benefit. I might even want one of these in the main. Yeah, in all honesty, I think I want one of these in the main deck. This card's, like, overperformed every time we've cast it. Sorry, we put the bot in mod-only mode when we play Hex. It's fixed now. Yeah, that could be it. We could, like, cut the Kalidases and, like, put in Dramoka in the 27th land. I don't hate that at all. Shiggity shwooty, we come in for that booty. Playing Hex. Hex is another game that we play here on stream. It's a digital CCG. He hasn't played a land yet this turn, has he? It's pretty good. Just doesn't really matter what he does here. He's pretty dead. Just drew the Languish all natural. Guess this. Make a 4/4. The Kalidas has just done it felt like it just hasn't done anything every time we've cast it. So we get 0, 1, 4, 2, 3, 6. Draw 6. That's it. Just casual draw 6. NBD. Of course it's an okay swap, Maddie. I suggested it. Duh. Okay, opponent's dead on board. Got 6 different ways to kill things. Alright, boarding. Yeah, I think I like how we boarded. I've played far worse decks than this in an open. Like this probably doesn't even crack the top 10 of bad decks I've played. You want to see a real work of art? This is the first deck I ever top 8'd and open with. Easy mulligan here. Keep pretty shrunk hand. I don't need another read. I played Teamer for a long time. I played a lot of Teamer. This probably can't attack next turn unless he like spends a Dromoka. Oh wait, I'm a big dumb stupid. That card is text. Mistakes were made, team. Mistakes were made, team. Could have cast Read the Bones this turn. I don't know why I had it in my head that he wouldn't be able to attack with that next turn. I just haven't played enough Standard lately. Oh, jeez. Opponent's super unlucky. Yay, Magic. Bottom. I'm actually going to be aggressive in bottom that too. I feel like we want things that aren't that. We already have a bunch of lands in our hand. I think I'm casting this and just getting Seasons Past. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Now this doesn't flip and it can't attack. Now we get Collected Company. This might have been the wrong thing to get. We're just going to get Coco'd here and then just feel bad about our lives. Den Protector in this list. Maybe. We already have a lot. So, like, you look at this deck list and you pull it up and, like, this is a lot of clunk. Like, this deck, you hear this deck coming down the hallway. It is. Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead. Oh, opponent missed their... Why are we so dead? Grasp or price or path or something. Dead weight. That'll do, Peg. That'll do, Peg. That'll do. No negate. Big bucks. No negate. Big bucks, no negate. No! Oh, God. We die. Why do we die so much? Should have played Evolving Wilds that turn. I am aware. Oh, good. This can't attack. We got that going for us. This can't attack. That's our saving grace. We flipped it back. Alright. Maybe there's a world... Maybe there's a world where this resolves. Is that the world we live in? Okay. It's a good start. It's a good start. Kill this one, flip this one back. Scale of 1 to dead. Where are we at here, opponent? Work with me. If this resolves, we should win the game because we get Dromoka. Alright, I have Spell Mastery. Good. That would have been really embarrassing if I didn't have Spell Mastery here. Has to Company in response. This is going to flip back again. Oh, yeah. Look at those Reflector Mages. So powerful. I guess he can Reflector Mage us on his turn and kill us, so maybe I shouldn't be gloating. No Reflector Mage, no Deccan Stone one time. He can company into a Reflector Mage as well. I guess we're not just dead, right? We're going to 1 here. Oh, he has a 4 power guy. Yep. So close. I shouldn't have. The whole game was that, like, okay, so that game, we'll run a commercial really quick, and then we'll talk about what I did wrong that game. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I'm gonna collect my thoughts here for a minute.
Oh, hi there, folks. It's Television's Ruben Bressler here from Tales of Adventure to talk about Eternal Extravaganza, which is one of the highlights of the Magic calendar in 2016. This 4th installment of EE will be taking place June 18th and 19th at the Merchant Square Mall in historic Allentown, Pennsylvania. There's a 15K Legacy main event on Saturday, and both Modern and Vintage 10Ks on Sunday. Every player that registers for any of the 3 main events will receive an awesome exclusive EE4 playmat. Prizes will be paid down all the way to X and 3 in Legacy and X and 2 in both Vintage and Modern, and all 3 event champions will receive not only top prizes, but also some really sweet looking trophies. For those that can't make it, I'm sorry, but we will be broadcasting EE4 live on twitch.tv/Tales of Adventure throughout the weekend. So visit eemagic.com or check out the hashtag EE4MTG to learn how you can become an Eternal Master this June 18th and 19th at Eternal Extravaganza.
Yeah, so Lodar Panda pulled up to issue that game. I didn't kill the pacifist on 2. It didn't do that much. It did 4 points of damage to us. It just put us behind on tempo. But to be fair, I think even if we had killed the pacifist there, the only reason killing the pacifist would have been good enough that game was because our opponent missed their 4th land drop and their blue source for so long. I think if our opponent had I think if we had killed the pacifist and our opponent had drawn anywhere close to a real hand, we'd have lost that game not close. So that matchup doesn't seem particularly good, which is I don't think I'm gonna I can't see myself playing this deck this weekend. Sure, but the only reason that was even relevant was because, like, he missed a bunch of land drops. Like, okay. So opponent is not playing. Opponent's playing a brew as well. I guess I don't need a second white game 1. That's sloppy. Arlen Cord, okay. I don't even know what this card does. Things are not shaping up well here for us. Krovax, assuming my fund makes it to 100%, I will likely be at every tour event. There's one that might be fuzzy. Worcester is both a Legacy Open and it's really expensive to get to. Someone said I could fly into Boston for cheaper, so I need to look in for that, but I will for sure be at the next 3 open stops. I had made plans for that before my plumbing exploded. So I will be in Atlanta this weekend, and then Dallas and Orlando the weekends after that. Okay, Austin. Legacy is not. Legacy is a fun format for blowing off steed. It does not make a great competitive format, in my opinion. You are welcome to disagree with my opinion, but mine's not going to change on that. So like scale of 1 to just like throw our deck in a dumpster fire because we're dead. It's only about 40. Yeah, someone said I could take a train from Boston to Worcester for a lot cheaper. Because like I was looking for flights right into Worcester and they were like $500, which is like over twice what I'm willing to pay for a flight most of the time. Opponent plays the 6th land next turn, and then we can just never win anymore because he has a 4/5. I'm aware we don't have Spell Mastery. We don't have another play this turn other than Hold Up Hissing Quagmire to block, which isn't great either because opponent likely has Fiery Impulses and stuff in their deck. God, look at that combo. No Modern is on the slate today. We're going to play some Standard and probably close out the day with some Hex. Use your words. Red instead of white because red fixes these issues. Red changes these matchups. Those are the type of things you wanna ask yourself when you make suggestions for major changes to a deck. Probably want at least some of these. 1 Virulent Plague's probably fine. He's got at least Arlen Cord making tokens. Worcester, yeah, there's a Legacy Open in Worcester later this year, over the summer. I think this is what I want to do. Yeah. They'll still have Standard and Modern Classics on Sunday, which are reasonable EV. If you're local, like you're like sub 2 hours, it's worth going to play in a Classic. Like Matt and I drove like 2.5, 3 hours to play in 5Ks, and their Classics are arguably better value than those. And then you can just jund them out. Yep. Infernum, I would argue that red does not improve your early game because in order to consistently cast Rite of Flame on the Radiant Flames, Rite of Flame, which Radiant Flames on 3, you need a lot of red sources, whereas this deck doesn't have to have white mana early. Did you resub Illusions? You might have missed the resub. So I bottomed the Ruinous Path there because this deck's really mana hungry and I just want to hit my land drops. It's like, so the Jeskai Bring to Light control deck that I've been playing in Modern, I had some people ask me, you know, why we're not playing at least like Search for Tomorrow, because that's arguably like the best accelerant in Modern, right? Like Search for Tomorrow is the best accelerant for Scapeshift in that deck, and it's like, well, in order to play Search for Tomorrow, you can't just splash green. You have to like consistently have green mana on 1. Ups your endgame, and it gives you recursion. How does it up your endgame? Just because of like Chandra? This deck already has pretty unbeatable endgame. Whether or not MTGO is worth playing to you depends drastically on what you're looking to get out of Magic Online. I don't think we're enabling... This deck has a pretty hard time enabling Transverse. Delirium is not easy. The second creature land's a big sell too. Like having 8 creature lands has been very good in a lot of these matchups. Things that don't feel great. Having to languish away my Nissa. The honest answer is the Open's in 2 days, and I don't have time to play all these decks. That's the honest answer. I don't see Jace being very good in this deck. Turning on their early removal sounds less than stellar. You could... What does this do? Okay. Okay. Well, fam, we tried. You know, both teams played their hardest. Wait, this gives haste? Oh, that's extra scary. Okay, this gives haste. Oh no. Oh no. Canopy Vista. Alrighty. Well, that deck was poop. That deck was poop. This deck seems clunky and awkward, and I don't think the extra end game it has makes up for how smooth the black-white deck is. I mean, Matt, you can't just keep saying, like, competitive league. Like, the deck we're playing isn't terribly, like, isn't a thing, isn't a known entity, like, and is likely poop as well. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out today's stream with some more Hex, or 4-0 in this gauntlet. This Azure Cannon deck is really good, unlike that Seasons Pass deck. So if you're just here for the Magic piece, if you're staying out to hang out for some Hex, welcome. If you're just coming in for some Hex, welcome to the stream. We're going to play some more constructed Hex with Azure Cannon. If you haven't checked out Hex before, you should. It's a sweet game. Got some awesome mechanics. It's affordable to get into. You can play it completely for free if you want to. You can play Hex completely for free, and unlike Hearthstone and other CCGs that are free to get into, your Hex collection actually builds and maintains value. So, which is sweet. You're not just like sinking money into an account you can never get back out. It is, in fact, Hex time. Let's see if we can 5-0 this gauntlet. If I 5-0 this gauntlet, I'm 10-0 in my last 2 gauntlets with Azure Cannon, which would be hot. Hot, 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 hot. Oh no, this hand is so close to being good. I just need a Sapphire Shard. We'll be conservative and mulligan. This hand is poop, but we will keep it because it is shards. Opponent's playing Winter Moon. Usually a more controlling style deck. We're looking for like a Reese or a Tunneler here with this. We have something to do on our second turn of the game. We will take a burn over another shard. So we got our shocks and our sleight of hands together. Opponent, this matchup probably pretty hard for us. I guess we have counter magic. So this card, opponent's playing a combo deck as well. This card prophesies the next troop in their deck, so it gains a line of text when you play this, gain 4 life. And there's a Coyotal troop that says when it's prophesied, if it's in your deck, it gets put right into your hand. So my opponent basically just got to draw their diamond troop by playing that card. Man, we are just not running good. Kind of wish I would have gambled with the 7. At least these limestones will make worker bots at some point, or hopefully random robots if we draw Reese. Oh, opponent's not playing the combo deck. Okay. They're just playing like a Coyotals deck. That's interesting. Let's tunnel this. So the next troop in his deck gets 2/2 in flight. And then if it's also a coyote, it gives the next thing 2/2 in flight. So we're going to pass priority here. I'm going to let this sit out here for a turn. Hopefully we draw like a crackling bolt on our turn. You just get to 1-for-1 this instead of having to spend 2 burns on it. Alright, Visage isn't bad. Yep, I'm going to try and double burn this. So this card makes all of my opponent's actions cost 1 less, so he could have counter magic here. He's got 2 resources up. Yep, that's unfortunate. What is Hypnoscientist? Hypnoscientist is a 5/2 with tunneling. So in 3 turns, this enters play with speed, and it makes one of my opponent's troops not be able to block. But tunneling, my opponent doesn't know that this is a Hypnoscientist here. They just, all my opponent knows is that I've tunneled something. They don't get to know what that thing is. Can he hit for just 2 here? Opponents shuffling cards from their crypt back into their deck. Peace Famante. Subterranean Spy is pretty sweet because it's a dwarf that lets us use this to make a worker bot here. Tunneling is like a combination of suspend and morph. So like my opponent doesn't know which cards are tunneled here. That's a good one to know about. So this card is sweet. While it's tunneled, I can see all of the cards in my opponent's hand, which right now he has a Mass Polymorph Dingler, which basically gets rid of all of my troops. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my champion power here, which makes a pretty big one. So it reveals the top 10 cards in my deck, and there are 6 resources in my top 10 cards, so we get a 6/6. Can't attack profitably into his 2/4 here. Hopefully he... Okay, so Arcane Focus. And again, my opponent doesn't know that we're looking at their hand during all of this, which is sweet. Hopefully my opponent attacks with one of their troops again, because when Hypno-Scientist comes into play, it'll make something not be able to block. Oh, that's a brick wall. So this is going to come off of Tunneling, which will copy my Visage because it counts as playing a 5-drop. It's going to come into play and make something not be able to block. I think we're going to make the 2/4 not be able to block because if he wants to trade his 3/4 for my 5/2, I'm okay with that. Counter Magic is great here. I think I'm actually going to hold on to this shard in case we draw Reese to tunnel, because Reese says if you would make a random... If you would make a worker bot, make a random bot instead. So I'm going to go ahead and crunch in for 11 here, and he can trade with this if he wants to. He has enough life, though, that he might just, like, take 11. Okay. I'm okay with that trade. So he draws. Another Arcane Focus is fine. Costs him 0 because of the Cyclone Shaper. We'd really like to draw, like, a Transmogrifade or a Crackling Bolt, because that lets us take the Shaper off the table. Ooh, that's scary. It's a good thing we have this Counter Magic. So this is... Oh, and he gets to empower it because it's... Well, that would be really scary if I didn't have Counter Magic here. So, this card has a lot of extra text on it because my opponent prophesied it twice. He prophesied it to have -2 cost and to give be +2/+2. And then he empowered it, which doubled all of its stats. So it ended up being a 2 cost 8/10 because of all the bonuses that it had. So Subterranean Spy comes in. We double up my Visages. Drawing non-shards at some point would be sweet. So let's see here. What happens if I attack with everything? If I attack with everything, he can go eat this, take 12. So that's not quite enough damage yet that I want to just shove. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 6 since he can't do anything about it, basically. So this is a Chlorophilia that he played earlier because his line of text draw a card on it. Would not mind drawing another 5-drop. If we draw like another dwarf here, like another Subterranean Spy or a Hypno-Scientist, we get to go ahead and double all of these Visages. So even the copies copy when you play another 5 cost, which is sick. And that is perfect because if it comes into play, it makes something not be able to block. So now we're up to 8 Visages. Let's see if this resolves. He could have a Counter Magic here. He has 1 card we don't know. He has Mass Polymorph Dingler and then 1 cost we... Yep, it's unfortunate. So I think we're supposed to ship with everything at this point, though. So if he goes block, he takes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20 and goes to 5. So yeah, so he can eat 2 of my things, but then he goes to 5. He's still 2 resources. Oh, I guess he's only 1 resource away from Mass Poly Dingler because this makes it cost 1 less. So we'll see what he does here. We actually need him to not draw a resource next turn. Alright, and he's taking 1 more damage than he needs to take here. He could have put Crow Feather on this one. I guess he wants them to not double again, but like, if I draw another 5-drop and he doesn't have Dingler, he's dead anyway, so we need him to not draw a resource that makes a temporary charge. Want to concede. Sweet. So Visage doing work here. See you in Atlanta, man. Huh. Opponent's deck is interesting. Visage is doing Visage things. Yep, it's a good way to put it. Crimson Bolt seems really good because it kills his prophesied things nicely. Transmog turns them into worse things. Counter Magic is fantastic. Burn seems less than stellar. He might have some cheaper Coyotals like Brown Fox Scout and stuff, but on average, it doesn't seem like that card's going to do a lot in this matchup. Time Ripple might also not be great. I guess Crackling Bolt kills his 2-3 nicely, and it's also some more reach when we're pulling out our birds. Maybe we just want like the bolts and the transmogs. This might be an Ancestors Chosen matchup, but like opponent's deck is like slightly aggressive, so I'm not sure I want this like long game card. Verdict of the Ancient Kings, that could be reasonable. I guess we could fight him on the chain a little bit. He also has Mass Poly Dingler. I'm not sure I want both of these though. I normally sell my primals if they're worth like 1,200 platinum or more. I sell them, which I believe the set 4 ones still are. So I need one cut if I want to bring in this Verdict. Maybe he just doesn't have quite enough flying troops to bring in all the Crimson Bolts. You could see that being the case. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try this. I might bring in Chosen on the play. I don't know. Chosen doesn't attack very well in this matchup either, though, because my opponent has like Young Seers and like 1/2s and 2/3s and stuff like that to just like get in the way of my guys. The Chosen's really good in matchups where like they don't have early blockers, so like in addition to filling your deck with value, it also like gets in 2 to 3 points of damage as a 1-drop. This hand's great. Turn 1 focus, turn 2 Tunnel Reese has a transmog for interaction. Has a focus of their own. Visage was sick that last game. I can't believe we beat them gaining as much life as he did. I'm going to take a Hypnoscientist here because Tunnel Reese on 2, Tunnel Hypnoscientist on 3 will give us a lot of pressure in the late game. See what he's got here. It's not quite a nut hand. It's like a couple of counter magics and an Azure Fade away from being like super crazy. Not quite sure why my opponent is playing the gain life card in their deck if they're not playing the combo. Seems a little loose, just like spending resources to gain life. I guess it's another card that lets them use Winter Moon aggressively profitably, but that seems kind of narrow still. Like you're putting yourself a card behind just to gain a little bit of life. See if he's got Cyclone Shaper here. If we have Cyclone Shaper, we're going to go Hypnoscientist Transmog. Lanapod Sight. So the next resource, troop, and action in my opponent's deck gain draw a card. So basically he gets 3 draws in the bank. Well, we're a little flooded this game, but we were a little flooded last game too and ended up pulling it out. So hopefully we rip a Visage or an Azure Fate Sorceress before these guys come off of tunneling. More resources also means that we're going to get to guaranteed activate our champion power on 6 here. Just go charge, and then activate that. Bombus type stuff, that's fair. Bombus has been getting less popular though. I mean, I guess gaining life isn't the worst against me either. Enters play, gain 4 life, draw a card, and prophecy your next troop. Seems not the worst. Things that feel bad for 100. So our draw step next turn needs to be Visage or actually we probably want Counter Magic or Verdict because he's probably going to be able to fight over these guys. So I got a bunch of prophecies there, and then this is the landing pause site. They got prophesied by the other landing pause site. Yeah, I think this is going to get out of hand kind of quickly for us here. I mean, aggressive decks traditionally are worse as a format evolves and people adjust and react to them. Well, it's not a shard at least. Glass half full. I think I'm transmogrifating this. Oh, God. The fact that you just can't respond to any of that feels so bad. And then... yeah, we're going to lose this by a lot. Well, opponent's deck went off this game. I think the Uzu Cannon deck's probably easier to play than this one that I'm playing, and the reason why I'm of that opinion is that you have less sequencing type things that you need to worry about. Probably has counter magic here. I'm going to concede to counter magic. Especially if it's a prophesized counter magic. I mean, okay, I guess. I was expecting him to counter magic Reese, so I guess I'm a liar and I'm not conceding now because Reese does obnoxious things sometimes. And now we drew a counter magic of our own, so like maybe there's a world where this Reese does enough to win the game. Making a 3-3 is not a good start, though. Jankbot. Excavation bot, okay. Alright, you have a 2-3. Scheme, interesting. This was a little late. So it looks like we're going to go to a third game here. Kind of want to see some more of my opponent's deck. I'm counter magicking this, but he has another one because he drew it while he had a Starcaller Ancient in his hand. Maybe he doesn't? I guess he can do this and then this. Oh, I made it cost 2 more. Okay, all his young seers cost 3, so he can't replay it. I'm silly. Let's play this out. The old 7 mana 5/2. 7 cost 5/2. Yep. I now have 9 cost 5/2, sure. Daddy needs a jank bot. Daddy needs a jank bot. Oh yeah. Got 2 demolitions. The old Stone Rain. We're done here. Alright, I think I want the extra verdict. I'm torn. Do I want this extra verdict? I kind of want Electrify, but I feel like if I'm electrifying him, the game has already gotten to a point that's fairly out of hand, so maybe I just shouldn't be worrying about that. I'm actually going to cut a Crimson Bolt and bring in this extra verdict. To be in the play for this third game, maybe have, you know, equal ratio of shards and non-shards. That would be ideal. Yeah, this hand's reasonable. We get to go focus on 1, tunnel this on 2. Hopefully the focus finds us a second ruby for this Visage, and then we go nuts with Visages and Tunnelers. I'm going to go ahead and take the Crackling Bolt here as opposed to a second Reese. Really don't need another one of those. Opponent's deck's pretty light on removal. Okay, opponent did mulligan, so we got that going for us. Gaining a little bit of life isn't a big deal. Really need to hit a second ruby. If we hit a second ruby, these Visages are gonna be big game. We hit second ruby next turn. We just get to go boom, attack, and then they double. Well, I guess even if we hit ruby now, we're gonna Crackling Bolt this because I don't want him to double up whatever he put the gain life on. And that's fantastic. We're going to have a sick curve here. We hit the second ruby. We get to grab that. And I'm going to Crackling Bolt this guy. And then next turn we get to go boom, boom with Visages. And then just like hold Verdict up and sit back on our threats. Put his cards back in his deck. Sure. He has Chlorophilia, which means he doesn't have Counter Magic this turn because Counter Magic costs 3. So I just get to go Sapphire Shard. If you're a Magic player who hung out who isn't super familiar with Hex's resource system, this is a good example of it. So even though I have 2 Ruby thresholds, I can play both of these double Ruby cards because I meet the resources to play them as well as the threshold requirement. I could have tunneled this here, but if we just like draw one more resource next turn that makes a temporary charge, I can just like play this out next turn and double these up right away. And then Reese comes off in 2 turns and doubles them up again, and opponent should just be very pressured. So we want to draw a shard that makes a temporary charge this turn. That's exactly what we asked for. Even if he counters this Hypno-Scientist, we still get the Plays trigger off of these. So even if this doesn't yep, that's fine. That means it's 1 less counter magic for Reese. We'll go ahead and attack with all of these. Do I want to activate my champion ability is the real question. Something like yesterday. Yesterday would be bad for us. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. Opponent is likely dead next turn when Reese untunnels and these all double up. Especially with this Verdict in our hand. Even if he has like Wind Singer here, he's going to need Wind Singer into... I can't even think of sequence that gets him out of what's about to happen. Maybe a Lullaby plus counter magic here. Again, Reese comes off and Visages all double. Let's Verdict of the Ancient Kings your counter magic. When it concedes... Gauntlet 5-0. Sweet. 10 just like casual 10-0 with Azure Cannon in my last sets of matches. I wanted to make other counter magics. Not really. Verdict and counter magic are the 2 that see play. They just added Refute. Suffocate sees fringe play sometimes, and they just added Refute from the newest set. But counter magic and Verdict are the 2 that see the most play. So what do I want to do here? I wanted to make some changes in the reserves. These Electrofries have... The Electrofries have been medium, so I've been thinking about cutting those. The Time Ripple's been medium. The Transmographates have been overperforming like that card always does. So I think I want 4 Transmogs in the 75. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put another Transmog here and cut this Time Ripple. And I really want to test these fissures, a couple of Fissure Smiths out. So I'm actually going to cut this other Electrofry and put in another Fissure Smith. Fissure Smith is just such a sweet card in this deck. So for those of you who've never seen this one before, it's a tunneling troop that only tunnels for a single turn. But while it's tunneled, if a non-flying troop attacks you, he untunnels and destroys a random non-flying troop that's attacking you. There are Mono Sapphire decks that have happened like that before. So Runeir is pretty prevalent, and this card kills spell shield things, so that's one of the reasons why I want to play it. It's also just good against aggressive decks, like it kills something that's attacking, and then it can block something else. And one of the really sweet things in this deck is that normally Fissure Smith is kind of predictable when people tunnel it, but this deck's playing 10 tunneling cards in the main deck. So, like, once you get someone with a Fissure Smith the first time, every time you tunnel something for the rest of that match, they're like, oh god, do I skip attacking this turn because that could be a Fissure Smith, or do I just, like, ship my team in because they play a bunch of tunnelers? Hey, Dino. Yeah, so I'm gonna save this. I think those are the changes I want to make. I'm going to go ahead and, do I want to queue up another gauntlet or not? Anyone that's watching the stream, I think I've only got time for 1 or 2 more matches, so I don't want to get into a whole other gauntlet right now. Does anyone want to play a match that's watching, that's got Hex constructed? I'll just be fair. First one to send a challenge. My in-game name is Jeff Hoagland. First one to send a challenge gets it. Super fair. Ship it my way. And then turn the stream off, of course. Diaper duty, been there. You don't have to be on my friends to send a challenge, do you? Yes, you do. All right, add me to friends. I'm looking. I'm waiting now. I'm waiting. So the canon aspect comes from the Azure Fate Sorceress, and then basically you use Azure Fate Sorceress to blow your opponent away like a cannonball would. The Uzu Cannon is a little bit different of a deck than Azure Cannon. Like, the Azure Cannon deck generally combo kills your opponent in a single turn. The Uzu Cannon uses the damage gem on the Azure Fate Sorceress, but it doesn't really blow your opponent away like Azure Cannon does. So I think people started calling it Uzu Cannon just because it's similar to Azure Cannon, that it plays Azure Fate Sorceress. This hand's pretty sweet. We've got Arcane Focus or Burn on one, Subterranean Spy, and then we've got an Azure Fate Sorceress here. So, in addition to being able to combo with Visage, this deck can also combo with Azure Fate Sorceress. So this card is where the deck gets its name from, Azure Cannon. When this card enters play, it deals damage equal to its power to my opponent. And then every other card I have that enters the battlefield after her also deals damage equal to their power to my opponent. I'm going to go ahead and play this, and go ahead and cast my Arcane Focus on one. See what goodies we find. A Reese would be sweet. Another Tunneler. Get some Tunnelers going. Visage wouldn't be bad either. Visage, ask and you shall receive. It is a little awkward that Azure Fate Sorceress wants double Sapphire to be quick, and Visage wants double Ruby to be played, so I'm glad we didn't make a decision about this yet. Hopefully we run off a shard here in a turn or two. So right now our second turn is going to be Ruby Shard, Tunnel Subterranean Spy, and then we'll get to see our opponent's hand. And then our turn 3 will be play Shard of Invocation and play our 2/2 speed. See what our opponent's got going on here. And again, he does not know that we are looking at his hand right now. All he knows is that we have something tunneled. I don't know what it is. Looks like our opponent's playing the cheesy Wintermoon deck that Van Meter and I were working on. It's a little unfortunate that my Visage is just going to get time rippled this turn. So he's just going to bounce this back to my hand, which sucks because Subterranean Spy untunnels after only 2 turns, which means I'm not going to get to double my Visage up from this coming into play, which feels bad. He's got Flight and 1/1 on that. That's interesting. So Subterranean Spy is going to hit play. So he's got Peak, Rune, Prism, and Webs in hand. Yeah, the 5 shard events are free constructed events on the weekends. Alright, Hypnoscientist isn't bad. So another tunneler for it. You have to go 3/3 to turn a small profit in the... So I'm just going to go ahead and Crackling Bolt his 2/3. And then I'm going to go ahead and tunnel my... Oh, I can't tunnel this because... that was a little sloppy. That was a... I had it in my head that that resource made a temporary charge when it did not. Killing that's still pretty reasonable. I think I should have offered the trade first, though, perhaps. And he likely doesn't take it, so I just end up Crackling Bolting post-combat, but... we'll see. Kind of wanted to tunnel this to get it out faster for Visage and Azure Fate. Opponent's putting cards back into their deck. How he mispronounces Omniscience. Yeah, his Runeair has 1/1 and Flight no Rhino. I wonder if that's a misgem. Matman Hex has a built-in auction house. So that's basically you don't need a TCG player type thing. It's built into the game. You just like search the cards you want on there and you'll be able to get it that way. Shard. Alright, well, it gives us something to use all of our resources with. Just go tunnel here. Attack for 3. So he used his Peak, he used his Prism, his hand is Runeair, Hierophant, and Webs, and then 2 cards we don't know. Yeah, for sure. And remember, if you do end up picking stuff up off of Hex Primal, Jeff 5 gets you 5% off. I mean, he's actually a little bit better off here that it's +1/+1, because if it was Flight and Rhino, I wouldn't actually, I actually wouldn't, well, I wouldn't be able to just burn it here. I think I'm just going to play this out as just a resource this turn. Oh, wait, I have a dwarf in play. Sweet. I forgot this was a dwarf. I was thinking these were off to the side. So I know my opponent's hand is Webs and then 2 cards I don't know. They can't play Counter Magic this turn, so actually I'm just going to play this Azure Fate Sorceress out and then activate my Champion Power. So this Azure Fate does 2 damage to my opponent when it comes into play, equal to its power. And then if he doesn't have a Transmog or a Time Ripple here, he's going to take damage equal to whatever this is. And he did time ripple it, but I'm just going to go ahead and activate it anyways, because I'd like to get the extra damage into play. So we get a 5/5 here, which sounds great. Oh, 6/6 actually. We've been running good with the Tetzot activations today. So these come off in 2 turns. Opponent's getting backed into a corner here. Yep, no blocks. Take 3. Is he gonna webs my rock golem? Oh, webs is double threshold, right? Yeah, it's double sapphire threshold for the incubation webs. Let's go ahead and play my Visage out here. And this is lethal all on its own, these 3. See what he's got here. And if this isn't lethal, like the 2 Hypnoscientists, Sun Tunnel next turn, and we get to play Azure Fate Sorceress in response. So opponent's under a lot of pressure to answer a lot of things with very few resources here. Crunch. God, I can only imagine how crazy this deck would be if Tetzot's ability triggered Visage. I just love this card so much. Just everything about it. The artwork, just everything. Oh no! That was rude. He goes to 2 here though, right? Nope, just dead. Oh, salary boarding. Winter Moon. Cheesy Winter Moon, more specifically, I suppose. Crackling Bolt's good. Verdict of the Ancient Kings is good. Burn is not stellar. Transmog's medium. Time Ripple's not great. Ancestors Chosen seems fine. I'm actually going to try cutting the Transmogs. And we'll play Crackling Bolts, Counter Magics, and just top-end threats. Maybe Visage actually isn't stellar in this matchup, and I'm supposed to have more interaction for his Runeers. He's probably turning his Runeers into Spell Shield in this matchup, right? You cannot maintain priority after you cast a card in Hex. That is not something you're able to do. Actually, I'm going to cut these. I'm going to go... Let's go 3-1. Let's just bring 1 Fissuresmith in case he has Runeer Hierophants that we need to kill. I think he's going to move his Runeers to Spell Shield this game. So we'll see. I think he's going to move the Runeers to Spell Shield. Ah, Sloth has to take off. All right. It's a little bit early, but I'm going to go ahead and take off. I started streaming a little bit early today. I've got some stuff I have to get I have to get taken care of before the weekend. I'm leaving on Friday this week. I'll be back Thursday afternoon. It's going to be an all Hex stream like it is every week. So minimum 1 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be here streaming Hex Constructed. We're going to find something new and sweet. We might, I don't know about brand new, but we're going to try something different. I might actually try the Uzu cannon that's been going around. So people have been asking me about that. So I want to try it out, I think. Or maybe one of the Yule Tool decks that Neg's been working on. So thanks for hanging out, folks. And I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. Appreciate everyone hanging out as long as they did. I will have archives uploaded